I'm so ready for this. Do you have a summary for this one? I'm so ready. Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Meg. And this is Ger Can Get It. I'm so tired, you guys. It's been a long day. This week we are doing a double feature of crappy kids shows that Ger's been in because they're short, and I'm going to be honest, I couldn't do 2 episodes on this.
No.
I will walk into the ocean. I couldn't do it. But we did it for you guys. We tried. So you guys get a double feature this week. I don't have any smart ass quips or like a smart ass little pre theme song tag for this. I got nothing. I'm sorry.
Really? A TV show about a grumpy tree that makes everybody mad by shitting out bad apples, and you don't have anything for that?
What was
I gave it to you. There you go.
I'm going to fall back on my usual, which is just me going, what was this? What was this?
If they gave awards for makeouts on screen or stage, this guy would get a lifetime achievement. He'll find any excuse to get right to sucking face. You honestly wouldn't believe it. Dissecting each and every kiss with tongue. There's only one conclusion to come to. It's that Ger can get it.
I do have a petition because it occurred to me that he has one other voice-ish role that's just voice that we haven't covered yet, where he did the voice in the video game for Eragon.
Yeah.
And I know for sure he has a bunch of reaction sounds. So like, huh, huh, that he had to do. And I kind of want to sample all of them and throw them in anytime we say something really stupid.
See, don't bait me to do that because I will.
So you make a quip and he just goes, huh.
This way is no good.
So so when I was trying to go through like his list of like his whole career, I found someone on YouTube has a silent playthrough of that Eragon game. Eragon, whatever.
Or Eragon, the Dragon Rider one.
Eragon.
Yeah.
So I know that I saved it in a playlist somewhere on YouTube. So I'm sure I could pull it up, and if I figure out what the name of his character is, I'm sure I could watch those parts. I know that the whole video is 4 hours long because it's literally someone sitting down and going start and then just playing until the game is done. So
I'm impressed it's only 4 hours.
Me too, honestly. So don't ask me to do a stupid thing because I'll do a stupid thing. I will
think it'd be so funny. It'd be good for ones like this, for otherwise it's going to be pretty dry. So it would be fun to sample that out because I'm sure he has some like a phrase he says over and over again. You know, in the older video games, like side characters would just have that like "watch that, hero" or whatever, where you had to just say it in the middle of what you were doing.
Hurry, or they'll kill us both.
Honestly, this episode is going to be short enough that like it's going to need some audio clips. So if I
might pull some sounds out for you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So if besides Ger and Dudley the Dragon singing some songs, if I can find some like I'll throw it in there. If I can find some Johnny Bravo sound clips, I'll throw them in.
You used magic, a gift all dragon riders possess.
This is just I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this. It's just they're both just weird, and like it's what you've been talking about in some of your other podcasts when you watch older programming and the pacing just feels confusing weird. And
now
kids shows from our childhood are also just like their tone and their
is just off the wall.
Moral sense is just like a weird left turn. I don't know.
Yeah, I did read an interesting thing, which would actually be worth discussing. And it was about like when we talk about 80s and 90s stuff and how it feels entirely different than things in the 2000s and forward. Not just morally, but like artistically. And you feel like there's a lot more experimentation in the 80s and 90s. There's a lot more like just people doing cool shit. Right. And so I was reading a thing that was like, you guys know why, like, you know, what happened is that all the really creative, really like gregarious driving forces behind these really interesting things that people were doing died of AIDS.
Damn.
Like that's why there's really kind of a cutoff in the 90s for this like over the top, really creative, really interesting and innovative like visual art in the
Yeah.
visual medium. Yeah. I was like, "Oh, wow."
I mean, that makes sense. Like there was Howard Ashman working with Alan Menken to do all of those Disney Renaissance musicals.
Yeah.
And Howard Ashman died of AIDS. I mean, that tracks.
Yeah. I was like, "Oh shit. Yeah, that's okay. That feels like it." Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily put Dudley the Dragon and the Edison Twins at the height
No.
the artistic
I was
of the 80s
inserting
and
that in
90s.
here because it's an 80s programs. There's more to be said about 80s and 90s children's program that are just separate from this discussion. But I just wanted to bring that up because I've been thinking about it a lot. And even though we have creative people now, you really lost like this wealth of generational
Yeah.
artistic knowledge when you
Yeah.
lost all these people all at once.
Everything now does feel sort of focus tested, and this did not.
No.
Nope, this felt
No.
very individual, at least
Well,
with Dudley.
Who was like, "Hey, can the dragon speak funny? Can the dragon have a speech impediment? Maybe." Did the dragon get punched in the face and his jaw was set incorrectly? What happened? And I'm not gonna lie, the freakiest part about this whole thing was his human hand. He just had a glove.
I knew you were going to bring it up. I knew.
He had a glove, and he was jazz handing the shit out of everything. He was like, "What? Oh no, Mr. Bird!
This is an audio medium. No one is
What are
gonna
you
see
doing?
you doing your jazz
You can
fingers.
see me. His hand.
I can see you.
Oh my god, his hand was horrifying.
Well, and actually, speaking of seeing you, so if a listener wants to know more about Dudley the Dragon, which after listening to us, I'm sure you are raring to go. There are some episodes on YouTube, but not this one. So what I will do, or what I will ask you to do, is to upload. We can upload our Christmas episode, into YouTube and see if anyone gets mad about the copyright. Because this is the one episode that it weirdly is not. There's a clip of it in French, bizarrely, but not in English. So if anyone wants to really get the full acid trip experience that is Dudley the Dragon, we will facilitate that for you. So what we watched, part one of our double feature today, was Dudley the Dragon. It was the Christmas 1994 in Canada, January 1995 in America episode called Have Yourself a Crabby Little Christmas. And how to describe this show. So the main character is Dudley the Dragon. My understanding from like a really brief Wikipedia-ing is that he's the last dragon as far as anyone knows, and he has taken a 100-year nap, and then he just he wakes up at the beginning of the series and he's all alone. He meets a little boy and a little girl who become his friends, blah, 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 like adventures ensue, basically.
I'm horrified that Dudley has a tragic backstory.
Oh, yeah.
I'm the last of my kind. I slept real weird. That's why my jaw is like this.
Well, and apparently the very last episode is him like having an emotional experience about like really coming to terms with the fact that he's the last dragon. Like it takes him like 6 seasons to realize he's the only one.
Who gave him Barney don't have no fucking backstory. They're just like whatever. He's purple. I don't know.
There was the little girl, yellow dinosaur. He had some other dinosaurs. This Dudley the Dragon is the last one. And then I guess in the finale, there's some other dragon, which is the exact same puppet, but like with a mustache that shows up and is like, "Hey, what up, dude?" And it turns out he's not the only one. End of series.
This feels like the Dinosaurs TV show.
Oh yeah, where they end with the asteroid.
Well, it's not even. They've destroyed the environment and the asteroid hits, so they're like the 1-2 punch, and they all die.
I remember really liking that show as a kid because like I didn't understand anything because I was like 6. And now anytime that I see a clip or hear about that show, I'm like, holy shit, how is this on the air?
Even the little baby's like, "What's going to happen to us, Dad?" And you're like, "Oh my God." Okay.
You're all dying.
You're all
Yeah.
gonna die. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least he gets a friend in the end.
Apparently, yeah. Yeah, this is a little less dark.
Really? Hi, I'm the last of my kind. So I befriended what might be a hallucination of two birds, a woodpecker, a frog, and 2 children.
Orphan children. Okay, yeah, no, that's fair. So wait, let me. Okay, okay. So the dragon is the same basic like man puppet model as Big Bird. For anyone in the audience trying to like visualize this, so it's a person wearing a suit. They have his right arm, I think, is the one that's raised in the air and like is making the dragon's mouth, and then his left arm is the dragon's left arm. But as you said, his other arm, the dragon's other arm, just kind of flops there, is just like stuck to the front of his chest. And sometimes it's like attached on a little string, so it kind of flops around a little bit. And the dragon, his face, his jaw does look sort of dislocated. Like his jaw is all the way on one side, and he's got a snaggletooth on that same side. So the overall impression is of a dragon that had a stroke. That's basically the vibe. And when I was talking with you about this, I was like, oh, I remember this show. I definitely used to watch it as a kid. This dragon is such a particular design. I remember this. It turns out, no. It turns out that in the 90s, we were all real fucking lazy. We had one goofy dragon design. We used it for all of our children's shows. And the show that I watched was called Eureka's Castle. And if you Google Eureka's Castle dragon, it is the same fucking dragon, except in that show, he was God-fearing and he wore pants. He had a little shirt. He had a little Hawaiian shirt and he had little pants. And I found on eBay, there was someone selling, I guess this show was popular enough that they had that you could get toys at Pizza Hut when Pizza Hut did the same thing that McDonald's did and had like kids' toys and shit. And they had the same toy that I had from my childhood. And I was like, oh.
I had Land Before Time puppets.
Oh, speaking of dark, why did we all want like horrible, depressed lizard monsters? Why was that the theme? Why did that come up so often?
I have no idea.
But it comes up like a lot.
Yeah, we had
sad dinosaurs.
Had horrifying fucking children's programs. Like Matt and I did that whole episode on The Brave Little Toaster, which traumatized the fuck out of me as a child.
I've only seen clips of that, and even as an adult, the clips I've seen just are like really upsetting. Yeah. And speaking of upsetting, let's discuss the plot of Crappy Little Christmas. But I'm sorry, but you were describing the talk about Dudley's friends. Please describe for the audience Dudley's family, because it's important to distinguish. They are his family, his found family.
Right. He has 2 birds, which are clearly married.
Yeah, and Mr. Charles Robin and Mrs. Tiffany Robin.
Okay.
I wrote their names down.
They're like the bickering couple, the like to the moon, Alice. That's what they are. And then there's
spousal abuse, yes.
A Jewish frog and his woodpecker friend.
Yes.
And I guess a grumpy tree, which it doesn't seem like we've ever seen before, which is probably why the tree is like, fuck all y'all. I'm going to ruin Christmas.
I have information for you about the tree, but continue.
And then 2 kids who might have been kidnapped and are being held hostage. It's difficult to say.
Correct. Which, first off, the little boy, and I should have written down the boy's name, and I'm sorry I didn't. I at first thought it was the same kid who played Daniel from Forever Night, and I was really excited. It's not, but he is also a childhood celebrity, at least for me, because do you remember the Magic School Bus?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that there was a little boy on the Magic School Bus named Carlos, who was like one of the main characters? This is Carlos. This boy did the voice of Carlos. Yes.
Oh.
Yes. And he was in Are You Afraid of the Dark? This kid is royalty.
Oh, okay. I watched the shit out of Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Yes. Yeah. And the girl who's playing with him.
Twisted.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Mm-hmm. I don't remember any Are You Afraid of the Dark story that ever like had an actual ending. I just remember being like emotionally blue-balled and like really upset and confused by every single episode of that program. But the girl, apparently she was also fairly like in demand at the time that she did this. So this show, this Dudley the Dragon, doesn't have that many seasons, maybe like 5 or 6. And there are like 6 different kids who become the little kids who hang with him. And I figured they would just have like, you know, this week, I don't remember the boy's name. This week, the boy is played by this kid. And this week, the boy is played by that kid. No, they're like 6 different characters. Like, this is a different boy. Like, all these different kids come in on this short-lived children's show because these kids were so much more famous than anybody else in this program. They had places to be. They had shit to do. They did not have time for goddamn Dudley the dragon, which I thought was fun. But can we discuss the fact that the frog's name is Sammy and he feels sort of black, but he's Jewish. So I'm thinking he's supposed to be Sammy Davis Jr., but as a frog.
He's like the plucky, self-aware character too. Because there's a part where there's like bomb and there's a note. It plays a note. It's like bomb, and then the woodpecker friend goes, "What is that?" And he goes, "Sounded like an E flat."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, you're that character."
Meta. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And he clearly doesn't have anything below the chest because all of the, you know how you have to put the puppet behind something because you got to hide the puppeteer, right?
Yeah.
Well, normally they give it enough puppet that you can't always tell it's behind stuff, but he had to be like, he was like a local theater puppet. He had to be behind a mound of snow. He had to be behind a nest. He had
I was
nothing.
really upset by all of their eyes. Can I just be honest? I remember, I don't know where I heard this. I'm hoping it was somewhere and not just like a dream I had. But I remember hearing that with like Muppets, like with those soft puppets, that you want them to look a little bit cross-eyed because then for kids watching, it looks like they're looking at them. So when they make the eyes in the puppet, they make them like a tiny little bit cross-eyed. They went too far with Dudley the Dragon. They're not a little cross-eyed. They're all like, I need medical intervention and like goggles cross-eyed. Like they all look like real messed up. It's really, we have Strokey Dragon. We have all the cross-eyed puppet. Like they're like unsettling. And I know that they weren't meant to be unsettling, but like the longer I look at them, the more I'm just like, I don't like looking at you. You're all ugly.
Well,
and then the woodpecker, whose name I don't remember. I'm sure I wrote it down somewhere. We'll get there. But the lady woodpecker has a Harley Quinn Brooklyn accent, and she feels like a hairdresser. She feels like everyone like the fact that she's a bird means that she can't have 2 long nails that she gesticulates with, but like emotionally she does.
Yes.
Emotionally, she's clicking her nails while she talks.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's supposed to be in a couple with the frog. I don't know what
they live together.
I think so. I think they do.
I mean, sure.
Anyways.
Let's make them a couple.
We're calling it now. The woodpecker is fucking the frog.
That Dudley sings a song about how families come in all shapes and sizes.
But not gay.
Sometimes your mom dies. Sometimes your dad dies. Sometimes you have both parents. They're like, I was waiting for, sometimes you have 2 moms. And they were like, nah, no.
No. It's just a death-based family system.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. So this was a real fucked up episode. I don't know how I feel about this. Although the tree, the tree, there's a character called Mr. Crabby Tree, played by Graham Greene, who just passed away, which is one of the other reasons we wanted to do this episode sort of sooner rather than later.
Green.
Who I don't know if he already had an award at this point. I think he actually gets nominated for an award for doing work on Dudley the Dragon. This is apparently a recurring character.
Oh.
But he feels in this episode very much like a character that no one's ever met before and nobody knows.
Right.
It's
and they're like,
very
but we
weird.
could be friends. And he's like, oh, okay. Then I will lift the curse of my shit apples and you can go back about your day.
Right. It's a real weird vibe. But Graham Greene chews on all of the scenery and he has such a great time. And he literally looks like he's peeing his pants.
The best day. Best day. He's like, the whole time. It's like, you don't seem crabby. You seem very happy. But happy about doing mischief? I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like crabby, I would just think as an adjective means you're grumpy, but he doesn't come across as grumpy. He comes across as delighting in evil, I guess, which to me is a little bit different. Anyway, so we have Graham Greene playing Mr. Crabby Tree, delighting in being evil in a full body rubber tree suit, which is just chef's kiss. Like if there's any reason to watch this, it's for him. And then I know you're gonna audience. I know you're asking yourself, well, who does Ger play? Who is Ger in this? I'm gonna tell you, He's the narrator.
He's
you
the
don't
narrator.
see him once.
No.
And there are big portions with no narration. This was 30 minutes long. It took me like 2 days to watch because I was like, I can't. This is so.
He is hamming up the accent too. You said you didn't notice it, but it sounded extra to me. It's the holidays days. I can't do it. The round Canadian. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he was making his voice definitely very like round and warm and charming and very like sweet. And it felt like what I appreciate is that like, I'm not going to lie. You and I have both noticed in things where he tries a little bit more and things where he tries maybe a little bit less.
Yeah.
In this, he could have phoned it in, and I don't think he did. I think he did a really good job on this. I think he really tried to add emotion to the narration and like warmth, like we said, to his voice and charm, and like made the narrator feel sort of like a real character. And and he has like opinions, kind of like at one point, Mr. Crabby Tree has his evil plan. And I quoted what the narrator says. He goes, he thought of a plan that he thought was quite good. Remember, of course, that he's made out of wood.
And he stood as he thought, and he thought as he stood, and he stood and he thought just as hard as he could, and he thought of a plan that he thought was quite good. Remember, of course, that he's made out of wood.
And I was like, okay, like you like pause where I want you to pause. You have like a little aside voice. You're like speaking to the audience. You're like, you're being a little catty as the omniscient narrator. Like, okay, I think he does a good job. I appreciate it. I like the warm, gentle, intimate, real close to the microphone Ger voice. I'll take it. I'll take it. But the plot of this episode is very upsetting to me. So we have Christmas time. We have everybody getting ready for Christmas. And then you have Mr. Crabby Tree, who is out in the woods he says he's by himself. There's other trees there, but they don't appear to be alive or sentient, which if I think about for too long, kind of makes me want to throw up. Like, I don't like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's no.
Are they dead? Are they never been alive?
Right? There's no version of this that's not just existentially explanatory for why he is so emotionally fucked up that becomes a terrorist. He's like, oh, everybody seems happy. And then we establish in this that at Christmas time, for reasons that nobody understands, you have to talk in rhyme. You don't get a choice. You got to do it. So Mr. Crabby Tree's like, well, I don't like that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to send Christmas presents to everyone that I know, which is the frog, the 3 birds, and the dragon, and the 2 kids. And I'm going to send them presents. And inside each present will be one single apple, and everyone's going to take a bite out of it. There's no to or from on these boxes, and they're wrapped up the way that boxes are wrapped up on like TV shows where there's like a separate lid, so you can just like open it and close it a bunch. This is the kind of shit that you train your kids on not accepting from strangers. This feels like a very stranger danger episode, but like whatever. And inside each box is a single juicy red apple. And everyone immediately is like, oh, hey, an apple. Chomp. And I'm like, well, you deserve it. You fucking deserve whatever happens to you.
It's you. It's on you. You earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you had to take at least one class in elementary school where like a dancing policeman told you not to do this exact thing. Like, I know. But they're like, oh, hey, an apple. Chomp. And everyone's like, oh, the apple's kind of sour. And like, that would have been enough. Like, that would have been fine. But no. It's a kid's show in the 90s, so they are psychological terror apples. So you take one bite out of them, and not only are you like, oh, this tastes awful, it's sour. It turns you into a dick. It makes you so mean. And I kind of just wanted them to be like, you can just have a character be grumpy. You don't have to have like a lot of backstory to it. Just have them be grumpy. But no, they all become, like Mr. Crabby Tree, like psychological terror weaponizers, and they immediately start like stabbing at each other, like emotionally and also physically. And I was like, I don't need this in my Christmas episode. No, thank you. Like, let's pause for a second and talk about families screaming and yelling at each other at Christmas time. And maybe we don't need to see that. I don't know. Maybe some kids. I don't know. Maybe some kids have witnessed that, let's say at Christmas time.
Yeah.
In their own homes. And they don't need to see that on Dudley the fucking Dragon. Okay.
Right.
I don't need to see this married couple of Robins need counseling. I don't need to see them like need marriage counseling. I don't need to see Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, but starring bird puppets. Like I
It goes
don't need
so
that.
hard too, and for so long.
Yes.
It just keeps going. Like if it was one really grumpy character, or they yelled at each other a little bit, but no, they yell, and then finally they all fucking leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got the bird characters, and they're like, "You're standing on my wing. You're standing on my foot." And then it goes. So like it starts off with like physical stuff, and then it goes into like psycho. Like it basically ends with like, "I've never loved you," but bird puppets.
You're standing on my wing! I am not standing on your wing. I'm standing on your foot. Get off my foot!
And then you're right. So we have the two birds fight, and then the woodpecker and frog, they fight. I don't remember about what, but the same kind of basic idea. And then the boy and the girl are fighting. So we have the three separate fights. And then off camera, you don't see them leave. They all just fucking dip. They're just gone.
They dip. The frog
they
does
just
leave a sign that says "Shalom."
In case you forgot that he's Jewish. He has a banner. He has a Star of David banner.
Shalom banner.
I get that they were trying to be inclusive, but also Sammy Davis Frog and his banner. Like, I can't. It's too much. Oh, and I'm sorry. Wikipedia would like you to know that Sammy Davis Frog has a cousin whose name I think is honestly like Yammy. It's like Sammy and Yammy. And Yammy is the Hispanic cousin to the Jewish frog, who is the same puppet, but with a big mustache. So if you want to know where we were in the 90s for cultural sensitivity,
that's where it was. Correct. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So they all leave. So while this is going on, we've got Dudley, and he's the only one who doesn't eat the bad apple because he has these, I think he calls them dragonberries, but they look like a props guy took an apple and then added like big clear gumballs to them, kind of to make it look like some kind of it's like a fruit that has like warts. I don't know how to describe it, but he's like, I would much prefer to eat the dragon fruit, so I'll have this apple later. So he's the only one that doesn't eat the poison dickhead apples. So he's like, hey, why is everyone being so mean? Nobody is rhyming. He is more upset that people aren't rhyming than at the like breakdown of the marriage in front of him. Like, okay, all right, dragon, sure, man. But he goes and sees Graham Greene, the tree, and Graham Greene, my favorite part of this is that he laughs and he literally says, ho, 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 he, but he says it like he's literally about to piss his pants. And it's the funny, I can't do it. But like, just imagine like someone laughing so hard, like they're going to cry, but verbalizing ho, 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 he. It's like, Graham Greene deserves his awards. Graham Greene is an excellent actor. The fact that he sells this evil fucking tree, I like it so much. But he shows up. So Dudley shows up to see Mr. Crabby Tree, and Mr. Crabby Tree's like, "You don't seem shitty like everybody else, and I'm real bummed about that. Could you maybe eat the apple just to satisfy this itch I have in my soul?"
Complete my evil takeover.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. I was going through my notes. I literally wrote, everyone is going full couples on the edge of divorce. So he goes and sees, so Dudley goes and sees the tree. Dudley brings the tree a present. And it's like, this is how you know the show is written by boomers, because he guilts the shit out of this tree. It's a Christmas guilt trip. He gives him a music box, inside of which is a little Dudley in front of a decorated Christmas tree. But we don't have money to make animatronics. We do have money to hire the actor who is physically in the Dudley suit to do like little jerky motions like he's an animatronic, and then we just shrink that video real small. We just make it real little. And we put that in front, we superimpose that in front of a music box, and we go, bam, under budget this week. So and the little music box sings a little song about, like you said, different kinds of families, which only include the kind where somebody has died, we've established. And he's like, and the little music box goes, there's different kinds of families, and they're all different, but they all love each other, and they all help each other. And we are a family, a dragon, a boy, a girl, 3 birds, a frog, and you, Mr. Crabby Apple, you, or Mr. Crabby Tree, you are a member of our family. And like I said, like what we said earlier, the vibe of this episode feels very much like nobody knows who this tree is or has ever seen him, but apparently he is.
Right, like he just popped out of nowhere.
Yeah, but apparently he is a recurring character. So in that, it makes sense that there'd be a music box with like, you're part of our family. But I appreciate that they like listed everybody else, and then they're like, and also you, I guess you're part of the family,
And you.
and you, yeah.
Mhm.
Together we're a family. A dragon and a boy, a girl, a frog, 3 birds, and you.
So, so Dudley's like, you don't deserve this, but I'm going to give this to you anyway, because full 90s parent guilt trip.
Yes.
Stab,
correct,
stab.
Yeah.
Love it. Mwah, chef's kiss. We have guilt trips. We have emotional screaming matches at Christmas time. This isn't fantasy. This was people's real lives.
You want to know
This
what
is
the moral of the story was for kids? If you aren't cooperative and nice and say you're sorry, then your family will break up and it will be your fault.
And they'll leave you.
Yes. And they will leave you and you will be alone and you will have no family. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. There's
Yes.
different kinds of families, but only if you don't fuck it up. Merry Christmas, Timmy. So the dragon guilts the tree with the music box. And so then Mr. Crabby Tree is like, oh, wait, maybe I'm part of a family too. And it's like, yeah, no, the music box specifically told you, but this is for dumb kids. So I guess we'll reiterate that. So then, to heighten the emotional terror of this, Mr. Crabby Tree, who is now alone, because Dudley's like, here's your fucking music box. Fuck off. I hate you. Goodbye. The tree is now alone in the woods, and he just starts going, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And like wailing into the empty night in the dead forest of his fears because his family has left him. This is for children.
I'm sorry!
Dudley hears him. Dudley's like walking back to his cave or his house or whatever. He hears him and he goes, well, what you did was wrong. And I'm like, oh. So it's that thing where you want them to apologize and they do apologize and you're like, too little, too late. Oh, good job, boomer writers. Oh.
I'm very sorry! Oh, I don't care if you are sorry. You've ruined Christmas for everyone!
Oh, that one got right between my ribs. That one stabbed me better than Anthony stabbed himself last week. Oh, call back. Call back.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Just slipped right through there. So Dudley's like, yeah, what you did was wrong. I don't give a shit. And then the tree goes, but we're a family. And Dudley's like, I did say that to you. I made a whole prepared musical number all about that. I guess you've thrown my words back at me, which is how family fights work in the 90s. That's correct. So you point to you win. Mm-hmm. So Dudley then goes back to the tree and he's like, I'm sorry for ignoring you. I guess I kind of forgot that you were alone and your feet are planted inside the ground. So it's not like you could come to my house or anything. And probably, being alone can make you sad and being sad can make you a crabby asshole. So it's actually my fault that you sent your psychological terror apples to all of us, which also feels kind of boomerish. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm gonna say that I'm taking the blame, even though I'm not taking the blame. I'm taking the blame for a fucked up thing that you did, so that you're gonna feel even worse and you're gonna apologize to me double.
Yeah.
Yeah. Layers.
Yeah.
So, everyone is leaving. So they've already gone.
They're gone.
We're all alone.
Yeah.
And Crabby's like, well, just tell everyone to come and see me. And I have a surprise and it'll like uncrabby them. And Dudley's like, okay. So we have a montage of Dudley going to everyone's houses and they're just empty. They're just abandoned. I think the birds have left a note that says just goodbye, which that feels like a suicide note. This is so dark. And then the frog, he just has the banner that says shalom. It's not like, do you know what I mean? Like it's less like a goodbye note. Like it's like if I had a sign on my wall that said aloha and you showed up at my house and we're like, oh, I guess she left. Like it could be a hello. Like you don't know. But he decides that shalom means I've gone forever. And then he goes back to his cave and the kids are just gone. And I'm like, well, they're like 12. So I don't like this. I don't feel good about this. They don't seem to have families. They just like walked off into the snow to die. What? So then we go back to the tree and the Crabby Tree is like, well, I added Christmas lights to myself. And I'm like, well, first, how? How?
I was going to say that. Who put the lights on?
Where the fuck did you get Christmas? You can't move. We've established established that. That's why you're lonely and sad and crabby and shit. Where they like up your butt? You just like you like pulled them out. Like where were you hiding them?
He grew them.
Anyways,
like fruit.
This is if you think about this show for like more than 2 seconds,
you can't.
It's horrifying. It's real upsetting. It's real upsetting.
It's even bad in its own attempt at representation because they have the Jewish frog, and at the very beginning, when they're all trying to remind each other that they have to be rhyming, the boy says something, and Dudley's like, well, "You have to rhyme," and he goes, "What rhymes with Jewish?"
Yeah,
and then they just leave it. They're like,
falls flat.
Yeah, no, I don't. Nothing. And then it's just like keep going.
They treat the frog being Jewish sort of like he has a disability that we need to like not that we have to like acknowledge it, but like not acknowledge it too hard.
Yeah.
Like it's very. It's a weird. I mean, it's it's the 90s. It is what it is. But like it feels very weird.
Jewish.
Yeah.
He's like, but he doesn't
like,
celebrate
silence.
Christmas. And he's like, it's okay. You can get presents for Hanukkah. And they're all like, problem solved.
Yeah, fixed. And then at the end, they go up to the frog puppet and they say Merry Christmas. And I'm like, you couldn't even follow through. You couldn't even be like, Happy Hanukkah. Like, just whatever. Yeah. Happy holidays even. Give him a happy holidays. I'm sure he'd love it.
Make it generic. You're fine.
Yeah, okay. So the tree he's got lights now and everyone is still gone. And they decide to sing again their like many different kinds of family song, which I think you know what, I'm going to, for the audience, I will take a clip of it. It's a real short song and I'll put it in here because otherwise this episode will be 12 minutes long. And you can listen to the song that haunts my fucking nightmares. I hear it when there's silence, I hear this song.
Sometimes your mom dies. Sometimes your dad dies. Sometimes they both die, but you're still a family.
It's not a great song, even though it's messed up and catchy. I will say I do kind of like the theme song where it's like Dudley the dragon. I'm like, all right, it's like chipper, it's like bouncy and shit. It makes you excited to watch the show, and then they're like, divorce. I'm like, oh, no.
You know what the D stands for? Divorce.
Oh, this hurts my heart. So they decide to sing the little like different kinds of family song, and somehow the music like reaches to all the birds and the frog and the kids wherever they are, and they all come back and we're all happy. And then Ger's narration comes back finally after like 25 and a half minutes of silence in this 30-minute episode. And he goes, oh yeah, what's the moral? I think there's a moral to this story. I don't remember what it is. And then Ger's voiceover goes, one bad apple doesn't spoil the whole bunch. Now does it? And I was so angry I threw my clicker.
Holidays are family times, and families can mean many things. And Crabby can transform into joyful when a family sings, reminding us of all the loving things that a family brings. So Merry Christmas, one and all. I say this now because it is time to go. But first, the moral. Now, what was it?
Merry Christmas, we agree. You're a member of the family tree.
Oh, yes, the moral. One bad apple doesn't spoil the whole bunch. Now, does it?
Because that's the opposite. That's literally the opposite.
The actual moral is that one bad apple can, in fact, spoil many things.
One crabby tree psychologically terrorized and ruined 3 birds, a frog, and 2 children. Like he literally did ruin the whole bunch. And only by the magic power of a boomer dragon's guilt trip did everything get set to rights again.
Yes.
So one bad apple did in fact. No, Ger. No, you're wrong. Your narration. Where's your red pen? Mark that shit out on your script. Be like, no.
Incorrect.
So, I'm sorry. And the most important thing that we sort of discussed, Dudley the dragon's fucked up little hands.
Yes.
Because, so, as you said, the one hand is, in fact, the puppeteer's hand.
In a glove.
Which
just
is
in a glove with
in a
claws.
horrible green glove, which is like, it is upsetting the way that it moves because it does feel like he really wants to show that the dragon can do stuff with his hands. So, like, and like he's just punctuating everything he says with weird, janky, jabby, jazzy hand movements. But what I didn't like, what really, like, when you see something and you can't unsee it and then it's just forever in your mind, on the little glove, the nails, like that should be the claws of the dragon's hand, go like all the way down to like the middle knuckle of each finger. And it doesn't look like a claw on top of a stubby finger. It just looks like that thing where like trashy white ladies from New Jersey have like the nails that are way the fuck too long.
Yeah.
And it was just like once I saw trashy like too long nails lady, like that's all I could see was him gesticulating with like the claw nail. And I don't know. I fucking hated it. I agree with you.
It kind of reminded me, there's that drag queen content creator that does home improvement stuff, or they're always wearing like home improvement clothes. I don't know how to describe that.
I know there's the trans handyman, but she doesn't have. Oh, okay,
not her, but they wear
Different, yeah.
gloves, and then they put their fake nails on the outside of the glove.
That is the vibe. That is definitely the vibe.
And that's I was like, oh, it feels like that, but like I like the drag queen creator.
Yeah, in the context of a drag queen, it's not upsetting.
Well, like puppets have to do. It's kind of like Power Rangers when they're wearing their helmets. They have to like whip their head around and different. I did it, and I looked away from my own microphone in the effort to make the head motions. But it's so you know who's talking, because otherwise, you don't necessarily know who's talking.
Yeah.
So puppets have to do a lot of like puppeteers have to move things in order to keep people engaged in the puppet. And this guy could have moved his head. He could have moved the head. Big Bird moves his head a whole fuck ton. But instead he was like, what if one hand did nothing? Because Dudley just vacant deadpan stares at everyone all the time, just like
his expression is horrifying. It's that googly cross-eyed thing. It's real upsetting.
And the only part of his body that will move at any given time is just his hand, and his hand will do things that no hand logically has ever done in the history of ever. And it will look like a chubby dragon has a man hand with a green glove on it.
You're not wrong.
And the man hand will do. You know what freaked me out? I think part of it was that he had 5 fingers. He had the whole hand. He didn't have like a dragon hand where they like combined a couple of fingers or anything. He literally
that would have made it better for you. That would have made it less upsetting for you.
I honestly think it would have. And so it looks like they went down to Canadian Tire and bought some green gloves.
Reference. Oh,
thank you.
I'm proud of you. Yeah.
And literally glued some yellow fake nails on it. And they were like, well, we spent so much on the rest of the puppet. No one's going to look at his hand. And then the guy was like, bet. Blah, 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 and just like flailed
the hand was all I could look at. Because if you look at the face with the weird misaligned jaw, it like, and the goofy staring at nothing eyes, it's really upsetting. And like you said, like the voice, I don't know. It's that kind of, I feel like there's like a range of goofy-esque voices where like on one end it's palatable and on the other end it's like nails on a chalkboard, and you have to kind of find how to like make it goofy but still like not painful. And I think this voice, it's not like the worst, most horrifying. It's not like the clown from It or whatever, but it's slightly more uncomfortable than enjoyable. So anytime he talks, I was like, I want to punch you in the face. And that was before he was like, everyone has to rhyme because it's Christmas time. Like before that, even when this dragon's not rhyming,
everyone has to rhyme because it's Christmas time. And you're like, please stop. Just fucking stop. I can't even with you right now. It makes you appreciate good puppeteering. That's what it does.
Correct.
Yeah. Where you're like, oh, okay. All right.
Because I was thinking about this, like, physically, it's the same model as Big Bird, as you said. It's exactly the same model as Big Bird, only it's a dragon instead of a big yellow bird. But Big Bird is charming, and his face is very sweet and open. And his movements feel very natural. And like you watch Big Bird and you forget that there's a man inside.
Yes.
And even though Big Bird he has the same setup. Like I said, he's got a little hand. The movements of the hand and the arm feel like natural, how a person would use their hand and their arm in a conversation, or like to pick something up, or to like to give a hug or a high five or whatever. Like you don't actively consciously think the entire time, that's the real arm, that's the fake arm, the other arm's in your neck. Like you're not, the whole time watching this dragon, that's all I could think about. I was like, real arm, fake arm, real arm, fake arm, real arm, like fucked up little face. Like I just
fucked up little face.
There's something, and I did hear, so I don't know at what point they change, but apparently in the early seasons of the show, the voice for Dudley is the physical performer. It's the same guy. And the empty arm is just kind of like glued or taped to his chest. It doesn't move. In later seasons, the voice actor, it's the same voice actor, but he no longer is the physical actor. It's a different physical actor. And the empty arm is on like a little string or something. So it's not, I don't think like someone else is puppeteering it, but I think it's loose on a little string so it can it can have some range of motion.
Gotcha.
And I don't know after watching this which version we got.
Nope.
I don't know.
I
don't know
tell you.
because like the little arm is like not super close to the chest, but it's not also like wobbly or anything. I don't know at which season they switched from the one to the other. Like it's not good. It's not good in a way that makes you appreciate Sesame Street.
Yes.
And like Sesame Street doesn't always have like huge sets or like super intricate, like, you know, like 15 guys with 15 puppets or like a super complicated story, or like you don't like, it's one of those things where like it's not good and I can't think of an excuse for it not being good.
Yeah.
I
can see that. Where it's like, I think it is literally just the I mean, first of all, it's very kids programmy. And it's very
but
like
Sesame Street is for kids.
But Sesame Street is like, we have a team of scientists behind this that are like streamlining this for kids. And
that's true.
We have the power of PBS behind this. And Dudley felt like, do we have a guy who we think could hold his arm up for 30 minutes? And they were like, I think I know a guy. And they were like, great, can he do this? And they were like, yeah, but his other hand. And they're like, fuck it, who cares? Don't worry about his other hand. Don't worry about it. He can do whatever he wants to with his free hand.
Yeah. No, I think you hit the nail on the head. It does feel like Sesame Street is always really thoughtful. And they're always teaching kids stuff, but in a way that's not like obnoxious.
Nobody
and in a way that's
workshopped
not,
this. Nobody
not hurtful.
workshopped Dudley.
Yeah.
Nobody focus grouped this. And the kids were crying when the birds were screaming at each other. They were like, oh no, have we made a bad choice? No, they were just like, it's fine. Put it on TV.
Yep. Put it on VHS. I own this now.
Can we get a sexy voice narrator? Yeah, we can get a sexy voice narrator. And they were like,
the mommies are going to need something. The mommies are going to need something to get them through this episode.
Done. And it was just, yeah.
Merry Christmas to you, sir. Oh, is he made out of wood? Oh, okay. I'm here for it.
Mm-hmm.
There was this one line, and I don't remember what it is, but it's something that rhymes with wet, and he doesn't end up saying wet, but like every time I listened to the episode, I kept thinking that he was going to say that he was wet. And I was like, what? And then every single time it's not, but like my mind psychologically was like, you need something for joy. Like just think he's going to say that.
Yeah. There was a part where Dudley comes in and he's like, what the fuck? What's the fuss all about? And because of his speech impediment, it sounds like he goes, what the fuck is this all about? And I was like, I don't think so.
I would watch Dudley After Dark.
Bus. Okay. Not what the fuck is this all about? And I was like, did you just drop the F-bomb on these kids? I mean, he could have. We wouldn't know.
No, we wouldn't.
No.
And I will say that Dudley's swearing would still be preferable to me than the teddy bear getting a blowjob.
Always comes back to puppets. Kill.
It always comes back to, why does he torture us with puppets? Why was the 90s a time of terrible puppets?
Well, the CG wasn't common enough yet for them to be able to do CG kid shows. They just threw puppets in on everywhere.
I hate it. I hate it so
like
much.
People in puppet suits was like the theme of our childhood, which is probably why I didn't watch a lot of kids programs growing up. I hated Barney. There was Zoobly Zoo, which I'm pretty sure is the same format, except I think they had face paint.
We didn't have Zoobly Zoo. I'll have to look that one up. We did have a lot. Like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, we had so many off-brand Muppet shows. Like the Eureka's Castle that I mentioned earlier, that one is also like soft puppets, like Muppety things, but it's not the Jim Henson Company. It's something in Canada. We had this. We had what was that? The big comfy couch that had some puppets and stuff in it. Yeah, like the more I think about it, the more I'm like, it's too bad that you couldn't patent like soft marionette style, like Muppets, like how they're not quite a marionette, not quite a puppet, like they're in between. Because if so, the Jim Henson Company would just be suing everybody that was on TV our entire childhoods, like just the entire time. I thought, okay, I must be getting myself confused. I thought that they said that Dudley the Dragon was done with Nelvana, and I just found out that Nelvana is shutting down, and I was real sad about it, but I guess I just made that up to myself. I guess that's wrong. Okay. I know Nelvana had worked on the next show. I'm going to delete this whole part. Doesn't matter. Okay. So, what's your overall rating for Dudley the motherfucking dragon and his horrible claw hand? Because you rate on characteristics.
I do. This feels, I feel like not applicable. Because he couldn't do anything. He could just sexy voice. That's the only thing he had to work with. And he does fine, but we don't see him. He's not like a narrator that walks in and then we transition to the show or anything. It's literally just voiceover from the very beginning.
Yeah, that's true. But like you said, sexy voice. He does like a purr.
He got like sexy voice, I guess, which isn't really a characteristic, but it is for now. He did get
it's
a couple
permanent characteristic. It is the underlying.
It's just an actual characteristic. Like it's just
who I am.
It's just part of who he is. But he did get a couple of like I'm having a joke on this show with the audience moments.
Yes,
which is a characteristic.
The verbal version of the looking at the audience and winking.
Yeah, his raised eyebrows. Like he got a couple of moments where you're like, okay, he probably didn't write that. It may have been in the script. I don't know. Maybe he went off script. However he did it, he played those moments exactly the way I would have expected him to play them. So I'm going to go a non-applicable to 1 raised eyebrows, anywhere in that range. And not because it's not good, but just because he's not physically on screen.
Yeah. Well, it's based on your rating system.
I have to assume he was making out with women and eating ham in the back. The whole time, and so that's what the 1 would be for. Was just like,
oh, Ger, can you actually record that line again? We can hear you smacking on ham.
There was actually voiceover through the whole thing, but he just fucking disappeared for 20 minutes, and they were like, "Don't go looking for him. Don't, just don't. It's just don't. You don't want to find him." Did anybody find the spare Dudley puppet? Shh.
All the female PAs have disappeared. I don't. Do you know where they went? They're not coming back. I'm sorry.
They find the spare
puppet. They're his now.
They find the spare puppet later, and they're like, "Did this thing always have a mustache?" And he's just like, "It's a man now."
Jesus. I mean, that puppet on its own is a crime. So whatever happens to it, I don't care.
No, it's puppet.
I know my rating system is always just based on like enjoyability, and like it's a cute song, and I appreciate any kids program that like wants to try to be inclusive and wants to try to give a message. But like the overall vibe of this was like, hey, your parents are getting divorced at Christmas time, but they're birds, and like I can't like I just it was.
Have you tried singing your parents a song?
Have you tried singing to get them to come back together? I'm pretty sure that will work.
Maybe it's because they felt like you didn't care about them and it was actually all your fault.
Yeah. Yeah. You were so bad that it broke them apart forever. And you should feel bad about that.
Mm-hmm.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
So like, I appreciate the effort. It's sort of the opposite of last week. I know what you were going for. I appreciate how hard you worked on this. You were not successful, but I see what you tried for.
Yeah.
So with all of that together, and in the spirit of Christmas, and also because like I know that we talk shit about this whole episode, but Graham Greene really does a good job. He really does. Yeah. He sells it. He is the Crabby tree, and the Crabby tree is like delighted with himself. And he laughs and he schemes and he's like, it's his 2 arms are in the 2 main branches of the tree. And so he really has to do like extra physical movement to try and convey like the emotions of the tree. He does a really good job.
Yeah.
Like Graham Greene was an excellent actor. He's been in a whole bunch of stuff. I intend to watch more of what he's been in. And like, I know it's going to sound crazy to be like, I want to watch more of what you've been in because you were such a good job as the Crabby tree in your big plastic tree costume. But like, he really sells it. He puts a lot of effort in. Like, I appreciate the work that he did.
The I'm
and
sorry part was really sad. The I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he really is like moaning, wailing, despondent at being alone. Like, I had a family and I was being kind of jerky because I didn't like how perky and chipper they were. And now they have left me, they've abandoned me, and it's all my fault. Like, he goes up to like the limit of where you could go for it to be soul wrenching in a children's show. Like, he does a really good job. So this is not me crapping on Graham Greene. And as we said, Ger does a good job. I really think that Ger could have phoned it in. Everyone could have phoned it in if they wanted to. And they're all really putting in the effort. It just doesn't come together as like a good product.
It's what they had to work with.
It's what they had to work with. Yeah. The actors, this is one of those few times where I'm like, the actors really, really sold it and did a good job, but the material was just shit and it just wasn't very good. So I don't know, like a three plus a little bit of trauma, 3 sloppy wet kisses in terms of enjoyability. And I will include the song for everyone to hear, the messed up little song. And if you want to watch it, it's like 27 minutes long. We're going to put it on YouTube. Watch it before whoever owns it takes it down. Because I'm sure they're super into it.
I'm going to do it just to see who contacts me. Gives me
you know what's funny? So like there are, I don't know how many episodes like were made in total, but like lots. There are lots and lots of episodes of this on YouTube, just not the one that I wanted. So I had to buy this off of eBay, but like lots and lots. And the French version, the dragon's name is Arthur instead of Dudley. And they redid the entire opening credits where the letters for Arthur instead of the letters for Dudley, like fall out of the sky. And apparently I thought they just dubbed it into French because, like, why wouldn't you? That's what you would do with everything else. They apparently recast it. They had little French kids in addition to, like, dubbing the puppets or whatever, or having, I guess they just had French puppeteers come in, whatever. But, like, they had, like, an entirely new set of kids who spoke French. Wow. And they did not all the same. I think they stopped, like, halfway through. But they had the money to recreate every episode in French. They could have maybe used that money to like make the episodes good to begin with, but that wasn't where their budget went. That's fine. Yeah. But yeah, so if you want to watch it in French, you can. If you want to watch the other like 700 episodes, you can, but weirdly not this one. So we'll put this one online. You can watch it if you hate yourself and you just want to hear Ger purr into the mic all about Christmas, which, you do you. We all have our needs. So
use your bow to take him out.
Part two of the double feature.
Part 2.
Which I don't know that I liked this more, but I found it funnier, if that makes sense. It's a series called The Edison Twins. This is available everywhere. It's available on Tubi right now. I don't know if every episode, but I think like several seasons.
I think all of them.
I think you're right. I think it is.
Yeah.
And I know that you can also purchase episodes on Amazon Prime, which I didn't know they were on Tubi until I already bought them on Amazon. So I own this garbage now, but you can watch it for free on Tubi with commercials if you want. The episodes that we watched are from 1985, from August through October. 1985. Garrett's only in the first of this 3-parter. I'm going to go through it really, like the other parts real quick, because it's funny in terms of his career, like the shit that like follows through. I'll explain it in a second, but like, he also is in this for 14 seconds.
Yeah,
it's
literally.
So short.
Not hyperbole. Short. Literally. Yes. He's like, "Hi, I'm a reporter," and then he fucks off.
And he is so charming. I was like, "Oh, is he going to be a recurring character?" No. Nope. No. This is the only episode he's in. But so my understanding of the premise, which I watched 3 episodes and like maybe I don't have the premise, but my understanding is that it's about these twins named Tom and Annie Edison, and they're both supposed to be like very smart. Like I don't know if they're supposed to be like, I feel like now on TV you're either like book smart or you're like math and science smart, but they like differentiate.
Yeah,
this was 1985, so they were just like, I don't know, smart, and that's their characteristic. And then they have a little brother named Paul, who is 10 ? And his role is to be like the little brother on Speed Racer. Like he just comes in and does shit and then leaves, and he's adorable because he's 10. They apparently have at least a mother somewhere, and they have a friend named Lance who has a car. And that's really all you need to know about Lance, is that he's their friend with a car.
Was in the first episode.
I know he was in the one with Ger?
No, I didn't know what episode I was supposed to be watching. So I put on season 1, episode 1 while I was looking it up, and I was like, is that Corey Haim? And it is.
So I know that his character is a recurring character in later seasons. Who actually does he play? Do you remember?
He didn't even have a line.
He's just like there.
Yeah, they're like telling him to push buttons, and he's like smiling and nodding. That's what I did. You couldn't see it, people who are listening, but he literally just like, okay. And then he doesn't even say okay. He just smiles and nods and then pushes the button because it's the little brother putting on like a play, and his sister has set up all these special effects, and so somebody sneaks in behind him and cuts a wire. And so something blows up, and he's like, wow, that was a really cool special effect. And she's like, that's not what it was supposed to do. And then it cuts to the credits, which are 25 minutes long of the entire 45-minute show. And then
the credits are super long.
I didn't make it through the credits, so I don't know what happened after that. I was like, I can't. What is this? Why is it so long?
But that's the whole vibe of the show is, I know it's the late 80s, but in terms of pacing, it felt like the 70s again, where you're just like, please let something happen now, please. Yeah. And like nothing happens. So but I had heard about Corey Haim being in these episodes. I think that's interesting that he was in the pilot, when I know his character becomes recurring like later on. But at least in season 3, when we watch season 3 episodes 37, 38, and 39, because seasons could be however long you wanted in the 80s. However many episodes you thought was the right number. At least in these, Corey Haim's character isn't there. And I feel like he takes the place of the Lance character. I think that's where he pops in, but like, I don't know any more than that. I just know that they have like friend character who instigates stuff. So, in 337, the case of the missing guitar, Ger plays a character. I was going to say character, but he doesn't play a character. Ger plays a thing that pops up on screen for like 12 seconds named Des Ranger, which good job, you guys. Good job.
I mean, come on.
It's a good name.
You gave him a name. You couldn't bring him back.
No, he is okay. And so he's Des Ranger. I'm so excited. He's Des Ranger. He's an entertainment reporter. Like, I don't know if Entertainment Tonight is still on. I feel like I used to watch that when I was a kid, and like I don't even know if that program is still on. But like, it was a thing that we used to have, and I don't know that we really have that anymore. Like the entertainment reporter who would go out and interview movie stars and musicians and stuff. So that's who Ger plays, Des Ranger, entertainment reporter. He's waiting at the airport for Debbie Bradley, aka Debbie Delicious. Which watch this episode just to hear Ger say Debbie Delicious, because that made my whole day. Debbie Delicious.
Debbie Delicious.
He chews on the scenery. So he has 2 lines, and he's like, "I'm getting my ham's worth out of this," and he just, I like it so much. I love, like I said, I know that we've watched a lot of things where Ger's like, I need a roof on my house. Like this is my job this week. I'll do it. I love so much when we have the exact opposite, where he has a teeny tiny role. I know they're paying you in ham sandwiches and bus vouchers. I know they're giving you nothing for this because you're on air, you're on screen, or your voice is on the episode for like 2 minutes, and you're just like, you know what? I'm gonna give the people what they want, and you just lick all over it. Like I just like slather ham all over. I love it. I love it so much.
The crowd's going wild. Here she is, folks. Our very own Debbie Bradley, otherwise known as Debbie Delicious.
This is after Airwolf.
Is it?
Which I didn't realize was so close to when he did the Littlest Hobo episodes.
I thought Gerwolf. Wow. Wow. I had a mini stroke.
This is 1985, right?
Yeah, but I thought Airwolf was like 89.
Hang on.
Research break.
I'm looking it up. This is when we need the Eragon sounds.
Oh my god.
1984 to 1986.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
He looks so much younger here.
This is Airwolf era.
So he's Des Ranger, and he's at the airport. He's waiting for Debbie Delicious. And he says, Debbie Delicious is a local girl who got famous with her song, her hit of the summer. What do you think that song is called? Baby Doo-Wah. Because no one was writing this. No.
I know. He's like, something. Oh, I have an important bit of trivia to add to this, which I think will be, it's not Ger related in the slightest. But you know the Wilhelm scream?
Yes.
The like iconic scream?
Yes.
The guy that is responsible for the Wilhelm scream. Sorry, the gin is like gluing my mouth together. Also wrote Purple People Eater.
Shut up.
And performed it.
What?
It's the same fucking guy.
How?
Yeah.
Okay. Are they far apart in time though in his
Not
career?
Particularly, no, because we were watching Transformers. So my son wanted to watch Transformers 1, and he kept saying, Dada, I want to watch Transformers 1, like the movie called Transformers 1, not the first movie. And Matt was like, okay.
What?
And then he rented the first movie.
Wait, is there seriously a movie called Transformers 1?
There's an animated Transformers movie that came out like last year called Transformers 1.
Oh, I saw trailers for it. That's the one where it's like it's all the characters, but when they're younger and they're on Energon or whatever. Okay,
Yeah,
their origin
Cybertron.
Story.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Origin story.
Cybertron is their planet. Energon is their thing, right?
Right.
Okay.
And so he kept telling him, I want to watch Transformers 1, not the first. He was very specific, not the first Transformers movie. And Matt was like, okay. And he rented the first Transformers movie.
I hear you. Ignored.
And my son just goes, I can work with this. So then he was looking up, he goes, I can work with this. And so Matt was looking at the IMDb page because one of I think it's Starscream, is credited with the guy who did the Wilhelm scream because they used his vocals for his sound. And so he went down a rabbit hole of looking that guy up, and he was like, did you know he was also responsible for Flying Purple People Eater? And I was like, what the shit? What do you mean? And he was like,
so crazy.
Yeah, like it's the same guy.
You know what that feels like? Did you ever see that like meme or whatever online where they talk about when the fax machine was invented, when samurais existed, and when Abraham Lincoln was assassinated? Oh,
and they're like they're all overlap.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's sort of what it feels like. Like I'm sure that it's correct that there were still samurais at the time that Lincoln was assassinated, and that the first fax machine existed at that point, and so you could have sent a samurai a fax about Lincoln. Like I'm sure that is accurate, but like in your head it feels wrong.
You're like, no,
That's
incorrect.
how this feels about Purple People Eater and the Wilhelm scream, because it feels like the Wilhelm scream was from like 1920, and it feels like Purple People Eater is from like the 60s. And I'm aware that a person could have been alive in the 20s and still alive in the 60s. Like I'm aware of that, but somehow it feels like a millennia passed in the middle.
Yeah.
Huh.
Now you know. And it's from a TV show. He did the scream in a TV show because he was briefly an actor. Then he switched to doing music.
I didn't know that. I always thought the Wilhelm scream was from movies. Huh.
I mean, they reuse it. They sample it and reuse it.
But I mean, like, I thought it had like originated in a movie somewhere. We're learning so much. We're educational, you guys.
I know.
You're welcome.
I was like,
you're welcome.
What? That's crazy.
It's not just nuts and butts here. It's not just nuts and butts. It's education.
And in case anyone's wondering, yes, my son did eventually get to watch Transformers 1. Because then I started calling it Transformers: 1. I took a page from American Psycho 2: All-American Girl. I was like, Transformers: 1. And Matt's like, what are you talking about? I was like, there's a movie called Transformers: 1. So
speaking of American Psycho 2: All-American Girl, I have been trying to. So ever since I got this little pod closet, I have decided that I'm going to have a Ger Can Get It. I was going to say it's not a shrine because that's weird. It's not a shrine. Obviously, it's a library. It's a library of resources.
It's a dedicated space.
Yeah,
a space of dedication.
It's a research emporium.
Yes. Yeah.
So I now have fully like 3 separate copies of Ghost Bomb and Bury Me in Niagara, Because you need the VHS and the DVD, and they have different names, and they're different, Mom, okay? They're different things.
It's not the same.
It's mint in box. It's still wrapped up in the plastic. I literally have my DVD of Bury Me in Niagara is still wrapped up in the plastic, and I'm like, who owned this for 30 years and never opened it? Like, thank you. I appreciate it, but like, who are you? But anyways, enough about my psychoses. I've been trying to get, I'm like, well, I need, like, I have my copy of American Psycho 2, All American Girl is on like Apple. It's just the digital one. So I'm like, well, I need a physical representation of all the hard work we put into this. Mm-hmm. And my new goal is to find like the worst version of this worst movie. So like I've seen it. There's a Blu-ray, there's a British Blu-ray, and then there's a VHS. And I'm like, the VHS feels more like what I want from my soul. But I'm trying to find if I can find weird foreign versions of Ger stuff, like that's what really like tickles my fancy. So I've got the German versions of Forever Night, which I still haven't watched. I need to like sit down and watch someone in German try and dub him. We've got obviously the French version of Cats and Dogs or Rin Tin Tin Jr. or whatever the hell it says in the DVD, because that show had 17 different names.
Yeah.
And I tried to buy the Italian version of Cube 2 : Hypercube, because the Italian version is Il Cubo. I love it. I don't know why it's so funny to me. And one version of the DVD had that thing that I feel like right when we first started making like special DVDs, remember how there'd be like, oh, this box is like a steel plated box and this box is like got a slightly different cover or whatever. And this one has like extra stuff inside. You open the case and there's like prizes inside. This one is like a weird, there's like extra corners on it. I can't really explain it. It's if you imagine a DVD box and you make it the size of like a Nintendo Switch game box where it's like a little bit narrower, a little bit more of a rectangle. And then you like came in with a buzzsaw and you were like, what if it had more corners? And you just went, and you just like added a couple extra corners. So it's like the extra cubey Italian Il Cubo 2 Hypercubo. Like I think it's so it's so stupid and funny. And I tried to buy it for like $4 because the Italians don't want it. And because of Trump's tariffs, the Italian Post won't send it to me. And so the guy has to cancel my eBay order. And I'm like, first off,
free El Cubo.
Aside from all of the terrible shit Trump has done, now he's stopping me from getting my Italian pornography version of the worst movie ever made. I'm like, I was so angry already. I'm not a fan of Trump. I was extra angry. I was just like, no, you fucking
bastard. It's not even, I get it.
I reached out. I have some Italian friends on a separate Discord, and I'm like, can you guys maybe let me know when the Italian Post figures out like how much Trump has decided to charge in tariffs, and I'll pay extra, whatever the extra is. But like right now, they just won't accept shipments because nobody knows what the fuck to do with Trump and his horse shit. Anyways, we're a political podcast. You all know that by listening.
Whatever. All art is political.
This is true. So my goal is at some point one day to add Il Cubo 2 to our wall of amazing shame. I already have I now have 2 versions of Ghost Mom and 2 versions of Conspiracy of Terror. It's a little ridiculous, but I keep being like, oh, there's a different version of a thing Ger was in. Add to cart. I just bought someone. It's not good. I have an eBay alert. It's not good for me, but like emotionally, it's great for me. But like money wise, it's not good for me. I have an eBay alert for Ger's name, and so someone posted on eBay that they have a CD of poems of Dylan Thomas's poems read by Ger, and of course they got Ger to sign. Because like if you're the person that buys the Ger Dylan Thomas CD, like you're also the person that's going to find Ger, get him to sign it. I know who you are.
Right,
I get it.
Correct. Yeah.
So I might have bought that for like $8. Like it's going to be a whole wall of shame/fame behind me. I'm so excited. So I will
it's
update.
Like the Brick Dick Index. Shame.
It is the Brick Dick Index. Yeah. Behind me is the physical representation of the Brick Dick Index. If this stupid little IKEA wall shelf that I bought, which is like it's literally just, it's like just barely big enough to put a VHS in, which Why didn't they design for me, IKEA? Why didn't you realize that people would be storing?
Yeah, I don't understand why you wouldn't have tried to make it fit VHS tapes. It's not like nobody owns those anymore or anything.
Correct. Where do I send my complaint letter to?
Physical media is back. Get with the program. Jesus, IKEA.
Well, I mean, not to get serious for a second, but these companies that are selling us licenses to watch things, they take them away, they change shit all the fucking time. So
physical media is actually in fact bad.
Yeah,
Why do you think I own you listen. I own the German DVDs of Forever Night. I own the Mill Creek release of Forever Night. I own the original Sony DVDs of Forever Night. I have downloaded digital files of all of the episodes, and I have 3 very large boxes of VHS tapes that I bought from Fred Mullen that are not only the episodes but also the episodes without the background sounds. I have 5 versions of Forever Night.
I didn't feel crazy until you were listing them, and I realized that out of those 5, I own 4. I feel
the only reason you don't own the 5th one is because it's one of a kind. I had to buy them from Fred Mullen.
That doesn't make me feel good. That makes me feel like I'm gonna have a moment to think in my soul for a second, and just really let that sit. Anyways, Ger plays Des Ranger.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yeah.
Just take that back.
Because I know everyone's here what happened in the Edison Twins? I'm here to understand.
Where's my content that I came here for?
My best understanding is that they're just supposed to be super smart twins. But when watching these episodes, it seemed like it was the girl who was smart and the boy was just also a boy. He doesn't seem to do much with his brain, but he's there too. So we've got Des Ranger. He's at the airport. He's Debbie Delicious is getting off the plane, and she's a local girl, and she got famous with her song, and now she's back in town, and everyone's excited to see her. And she plays. It sort of feels like if Taylor Swift or Lady Gaga decided to fly commercial. That's basically the vibe that we get.
Yeah.
Ger's character, to describe his physicality, he's got his floppy, good-looking early 20s guy hair. Love it. He is wearing a leather jacket, a button-down shirt, a tie, a sweater, and a scarf inside the airport. I know what Toronto winter is like. It's still too much. It's still way the fuck too much. How has he been a never nude even all the way back? Is it? I still maintain that taking his shirt off one time in Ikwe was so traumatic. He was never the fuck again. And he just kept putting more layers on.
Never.
They threw one chest merkin on him and he's nope.
No.
Mm-mm. Nope. You can't do it to me if I have a tie and a shirt and a sweater and a jacket.
And a scarf.
He is on screen for so little that I had to pause it to double check that he was in fact wearing a tie. Because the tie and the shirt are the same color and the sweater is almost the same color. It's a real quick, it's literally just the camera panning by him, and then basically his audio becomes kind of like a voiceover. Here she is, folks. Here's Debbie Delicious, and she's a local girl made famous with her song Baby Doo-Wah. Here she comes off the plane. Everyone's so excited. Oh my God, Debbie Delicious. You see him so briefly, only just to establish that he's not the voice of God, basically. And he is wearing his 16 layers. And I was like,
yes.
Sir.
And his 90s boy band hair.
I want some hairdresser from the 90s to tell me, how do I get that level of volume? How do I get that effortless level of volume that everybody had? My hair is so limp and so bedraggled and so sad. What do I have to do? How much mousse? How much not Paul Newman. What is it? Paul something. What's the name of that hair?
Mitchell?
Paul Mitchell. How much Paul Mitchell do I have to? You were impressed. I'm impressed by you.
I knew it.
How much Paul Mitchell do I have to stick in my hair? What do I? Just tell me, because everyone, perfect, beautiful hair. I have no notes. So, what?
Yeah. I don't know. My hair defies gravity until it's long enough. So I think I could have 90s boy band hair.
You could, and I'm jealous. Blah, blah, I'm Rachel. I have perfect hair. Whatever, bitch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just showing it off. Yeah. The audience can't see you do the like hair toss.
It cannot be contained, and it's only 2 inches long.
It is impressive. You have what you lack in length, you make up for in volume, and I'm real
do.
jealous.
It's true. Until it gets long enough, and then it goes, and it just deflates.
That's how my brother's hair is. It is so thick and curly. And I'm like, how did you get those genes? Everyone else in the family has like limp rat tail hair, but you got like luscious natural curls. It's unfair.
Yeah.
It's unfair. Anyways, that's my own personal cross to bear. So Ger's character is on screen for literally just long enough to announce that this woman is here. He has more energy and excitement than any other character in the 3 episodes of this goddamn show that I watched. Like he's like bouncing up and down, like on the balls of his feet. He's moving around to the camera. He's like, oh my God, camera guy, look over there. Here she is. It's Debbie Delicious. Like, wow. Like he is so peppy and so perky and just so, and like, it's even more impressive knowing that he must have been sweating his ass off wearing all the clothes that he owned all at once. Everyone else in the show has like a monotone and does not care. There are crimes happening. Nothing. Like nobody, it's weird, right? Like everyone just seems like, oh no, the guitar was stolen. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I feel like it was the times. I don't know. Just the like, I'm so smart, I don't need to react.
Yeah.
Character.
Yeah. It could be.
If I'm emotional, I don't look intelligent. So I just have to like take it all in stride.
Yeah, but it also like I feel like it's the opposite of my problem with Dudley. Like here in Dudley, everyone is like super like, you know, bouncy and stuff because you're puppets and you have to be. And here, like we're also for children, maybe have a little bit of enthusiasm and energy, like something, but nothing. I mean, I'm assuming I guess it's for older kids than Dudley, like 10 to 12 to 13-year-olds. I don't know, like that kind of age. And just, anyway, so we've got Debbie Bradley who sings Baby Doo-Wah, Debbie Delicious. And apparently she used to babysit Lance, who she remembers. Lance just pushes right up to her in the airport because it's before 9/11. You can do what the fuck you want in the airport. No one's going to stop you. And she's like, oh my God, I remember you. And he's like, what? You do? Like, you want to make out a little? And she's like, maybe. So they go back up to her. Like, she was his babysitter. And he immediately is like, wow, like, you're hot and famous and shit. Like, I'm going to hit that. So they go back up to her room. And he's like, oh, hey, can we see your world famous guitar that you bought from someone before you? And it's the secret to your songwriting. And it's like magic and shit. And she's like, sure, why not? So she opens her guitar case. And the guitar that she's famous for is like this big silver guitar with a great big silver plate on the front. I feel like we've seen ones like we've seen famous musicians have guitars like this. It's like a real special guitar. She opens the box. It's a different guitar. And she's like, oh no. And inside there is a ransom note that says, give me 10 grand. Don't go to the cops. If you go to the cops, I'm going to destroy this guitar. You'll never see it again. Mop, mop. So they're like, uh-oh, like, thank God we have the Edison Twins because they're kids that solve crimes, which again should be exciting. Kids solving crimes, that's that's like a home run. It should be easy to like make this fun to watch. And it's
I feel
just
like that's a proven
not.
Formula.
Yes.
Like it's a thing we've done a lot of. Yeah.
It shouldn't be that hard.
If plucky kids can fight Dracula and make that entertaining, then they should be able to fight crime.
I think that's my problem is Dracula set such a high bar for a show that is fun and entertaining for kids and adults.
Yeah.
That like that's where I want all kids shows to be. And then when it's like Dudley the dragon, and then this where it's like, oh no, my guitar got stolen. I'm just like, ugh, like I know it can be done better because I have seen it done better. Why can't you guys do it better? Try. You don't have to be in a castle in Luxembourg. You can do a good job here. Like
right here, right now. Yes.
Yeah. So they see on the new guitar, like the fake replacement guitar, that it has weird like notation carved into it. And when I saw it on screen, I was like, hieroglyphics? But apparently they're music notes. Okay, sure. I don't know. I don't know anything about music notation, but they didn't look like the musical notes that I've ever seen. And it's not like they drew like the little lines, the little music note lines or anything. So but apparently it's if you know music notes, apparently it's like readable as music notes. So they realize that it's playing a little song. And they realize, as you do, that the ransom note was written on pieces of a newspaper from Milan, Italy. Because it's the only one in the world that uses that particular font. And I wish I were making it up, but no. Oh, I'm sorry. And also they're like, well, our local newspapers have much thicker paper than this. Are you Rain Man? How the fuck do you know that? Like, there's like
they like
smart
the news, Meg.
There's smart where I'm like, okay, I can accept like that the deductions that you're making in your head, like I can follow the like even though I don't know the things that you know, I can accept that you know the things that you know. And like this, I do not accept that you know the font of the newspaper in Milan and that no other newspaper uses that font. Eventually, they'll turn the paper over and be like, oh, hey, look, it's in Italian. But again, like that's after they're already like, oh yeah, this is like the Milan Daily News. Like, what? Fucking what? So anyways, they realize that because the tour has just come back from Milan, probably the person using scraps of a Milanese, is that the adjective? I don't know. The Milan newspaper, probably that person like was on the tour with them. And I'm like, okay, like I follow that. Cool.
Milanian.
Sure. Yeah. You know what? Audience, correct us. Write in and correct us. We're gonna piss you off on purpose until you write in and engage with us. So
best way to get engagement on the internet is to be wrong.
And we are so wrong so frequently. So come on down. So they realize that it must be someone who was on the tour. And thankfully, just like in Scooby-Doo, we've only met 3 other people who were helpfully named and identified. So we have the manager who is in charge of the money. We have the roadie, whose name is Scott, and we're told that he has a big ego, which is said like it's a reason to commit a crime. So sure. And then we have the sound man, who is a known gambler. Like dun dun dun. Anyway, so we end up having the singer Debbie Delicious start playing the song that apparently she can read on the guitar, and she's like, "Hey guys, I'm actually fine with not getting my super special fancy guitar back. It turns out it's not magical. It turns out the power to write songs was in my heart the whole time, and I have just written this new song. I don't know where it came from. I wrote it all by myself. I'm just going to play it for you." And she starts playing the music that she saw that she's reading off of this guitar. And Scott, the roadie, is like, "You didn't write that song. I wrote that song." And then he's like, "Uh-oh, I just revealed. Oh, no." I'm like, okay. So
she just tried being wrong on the internet. And it worked.
Yeah. It turns out that was a way to solve crimes even back in 1985. So, consistency. So they find him, and he's like, "Yeah, I was gonna steal the guitar for money, and then it turns out that it actually is a magic guitar, and I loved it, and I wanted to keep it. So I was just gonna raise the ransom to a dollar amount that you couldn't pay, and you called my bluff, like, womp womp." And so that whole story, like that, ta-da, missing guitar is found. So while this is going on, the little brother, in what again is like a deeply disturbing kind of fucked up part of the story, they have a separate garage that they keep calling their office. And the little brother's like, "Well, I'm not using it as my office anymore." And I'm like, "You're 10. What were you using it? Like, what kind of office did you have?" But like, whatever. So he's like, "I'm not using it anymore. I'm going to rent it out." So he like puts a little sign on the front lawn and writes in little kid writing, "For rent." And a British man dressed like Sherlock Holmes comes up and he's like, "Aha, I see you have an apartment for rent. I need an office for rent, and I will pay you whatever the rate is so that I can do my business in private." And I'm like, oh, I have so many follow-up questions that like no one is going to address. Okay, all right, none of this feels good. This all feels like the beginning of To Catch a Predator, but like whatever. So he says his name is Dr. John Bell, and he has a deerstalker cap. He's wearing, all of his clothing is in that kind of Burberry-esque plaid that I feel like we always put Sherlock Holmes in, that like brown plaid. He's got the coat with like the little extra shoulder flap on the back that I feel like is the Sherlock Holmes coat, like the little rain flap on the coat. He's got a magnifying glass, a deerstalker cap, a pipe, a violin. He's British, and he has a parrot named John. Like it's so much. They're like, no characters are going to have emotion. The plot's not going to be exciting, but we're going to give this guy so many props to play with, like just so fucking much. So He rents out the garage. We never see the kids' parents. Apparently there's a mother somewhere. They will mention the mother in 2 episodes. You don't see anybody. You just see this adult British man moving into their fucking garage. And I was like, okay, all right, sure, 1985, whatever. So he has, and this will be important in 2 minutes, he has a little Mayan incense burner. And when the little kid, Paul, is snooping around, the doctor will surprise him, and Paul will drop this. And Dr. Bell is like, it's okay that you broke this thing. It doesn't matter because it's a fake. But I would like to remind you of another broken Mayan artifact from Forever Night. Because apparently in the 80s and 90s, like, this was a thing.
They're just lying about on the ground.
We were all just super into Mayan artifacts and smuggling them and breaking them and their magic and shit. I don't know. So we start off so the first episode
wasn't the cure for vampirism, though.
We're never going to know. Well, this one is a fake, so it wouldn't have worked anyways. I do like the idea, though, of like Ger's character like just lighting some incense and being like, oh my God, I'm cured. This smells so good. I don't want to eat people anymore.
I got that at the duty free in Oaxaca or something. Like, I don't know. Oh, okay.
If that episode had ended with like a pan to a gift shop in an airport in South America, and there's just like a row of little jade mugs, I would have peed my pants laughing so hard.
He picks up his, and on the bottom it's engraved "With love forever, Natalie." And you're like, God damn it, not another engraved item.
It's not the one I wanted. Okay. So at the end of this, so in this first one, in 337, the one that Ger shows up in for 2 minutes, we've got the Mayan incense burner that's fake. The next episode, because this is a 3-parter, but I will say I appreciate this. So because it's the 80s and they didn't know that you were actually going to be able to watch all 3 parts, they do a little like last week on the Edison Twins at the beginning of each episode. And also the only part that continues between episodes is the B plot. The A plot is a different thing every time. So like you don't even like it's a 3-parter, but like only in the broadest sense. You don't really need to know. So in 338, the case of the odd job, we have Lance. He apparently is still trying to hit Debbie Delicious, and Debbie Delicious is like, oh my God, my lunch calendar is just, it's full. Sorry. So she's like mentioned that she still is in town from last week. He works at a copier/blueprint store, which is a thing that used to be like, it sounds like Kinko's, but they do blueprints, which I don't know if Kinko's does, but like, so Kinko's Plus. He quits his job because he gets a job offer that's paying him $30 an hour. And I'm like, I got $30 an hour, but whatever. It's fine. It's fine. In 1985 money. So he is super rich. And the way that they show that he's super rich is they give him a furry, they call it a Cossack hat. And I don't remember the actual name for this. I feel like it starts with a D, but it's that furry Russian hat with the ear flaps. He has one of those. He has red leather ankle boots, which was a fashion choice. And then he like buys gifts for everybody. So they just dress him sort of like a male Russian prostitute. And then they're like, and also gifts. And that's how you show that someone's rich in the 80s. So he got this new job offer. And what the job is he shows up to this office and he listens to old records. And then he has to mark down like, I like this one. I didn't like that one, but I liked this one, but I didn't like that one. That's his whole job, $30 an hour. And he works for like 4 hours a day. So he is spending money as quick as he gets it. And like, I like how the Edison Twins, the girl is like, that seems suspicious that they're paying you to listen to music in an empty office by yourself for 4 hours. Like does that seem weird? And the guy's like, I make money. I don't care. And she tells her brother, like, does that seem weird to you? And he's like, I don't give a shit. It's my friend's job. Bye. And he slams the door on her. And I'm like, you're supposed to be the other half of the Edison Twins. Like you're supposed to be both like smart, curious. And you're like, oh, yeah. Your friend is probably going to be like thrown in the back of a van and sold for parts. Like you don't care. You're just all right. Because it's the 80s. So anyways, so all of a sudden this job disappears. This Lance guy goes to the little office where he'd been listening to music. The lights are off. All the stuff is gone. There's like a couple of empty like poster tubes and that's it. And he's like bummed out about it, but he's also like not curious. It's just the weirdest. Like for a show all about mysteries, all the characters are like, I don't need to know. I don't need to know about any of this. Like
I'm
how
not
is that
curious?
How is that the default point of view of your characters in your plucky teen mystery show? That just seems like the exact opposite of what you want. But anyways, what we end up finding out And I couldn't explain to you how, because it makes no sense, because this show is sort of like Scooby-Doo, but without any of the stuff that like explains how they know shit. They just jump right to the answer, and they're like, well, of course, it was a company that wanted to steal blueprints being made that weekend by their rival company. And so clearly what they did is they hired Lance away. Then they got the not Kinko's to hire our employee for super cheap. And then that guy showed up and he saw our rival company's blueprints, and he like made copies of them on the giant copy machine, and then took those back to us, and then quit his job at the copy place. And then we shut down our fake office that we used to get you out of the way. And now we have our rival company's blueprints. I have no idea how they figured that out.
This is really convoluted.
It is so convoluted. It is so convoluted. And also, like, I couldn't explain to you how this plot, but I do appreciate that the plot is something that wouldn't happen today, because today it would just be like corporate espionage or like Control C, Control P. Like, it's not, you wouldn't go to Kinko's and like hire a guy to be like the new Kinko's junior employee to copy the blueprint. Like,
right.
And the way that the girl, because it's a girl again, it's Annie Edison, it's not the brother. The way that she figures it out is the empty office has those empty poster tubes, and they are of the same brand or type or whatever coloring as is used at the not Kinko's. And she's like, well, clearly corporate espionage. And I was like, what? Fuck it. I am an adult and I can't follow the plot of this children's show. This is so insane. But while this is all happening, we don't give a shit about Lance and his job. Dr. Bell, the not Sherlock Holmes guy, wink, is like, hey, can you teens go to an auction for me? Because just like in Forever Night, people for funsies on weekends, they were going to auctions all the time.
Yeah.
And can you take a look at this? This one item is going to be item like number 14 in the catalog. And it's this Mayan vase. And can you bid on it for me? Please bid on it for me. I'm going to give you $500. And so like bid on it like up to 500. Like don't bid anymore, but like just bid on it and like see what happens. And they're like, okay. So they bid on it, and like nobody wants it. The auctioneer's like, I know it's real ugly and it's a piece of shit, but like it's an artifact kind of. So does anybody want it? And nobody wants it. So the twins are bidding on it. And then all of a sudden, dun, 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 there's a mysterious guy in the back of the room, and he looks at this lady sitting in the audience, and she's got a giant fedora on because it's that kind of show. And he looks at her, and she looks at him, and he gives like a portentous nod, and she's like, aha. So then she starts bidding. So the bidding has been just the twins and the auctioneer being like, anybody at all, like Bueller, like anything. And then when she gets the nod, she starts raising the price up and up and up, and it goes to $2,500. And the twins are like, well, we only have 500. So like, no. So she gets it. And then she leaves. And that's all that we really get from the auction part of that episode, except that we know that this thing that was bid on was like worthless, because even the auctioneer is like, yeah, this is nothing. I'm ashamed to be selling this. This is garbage. So dun, 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 we get to 339, the final mystery, which is the only one that makes the B plot from the last two, like the actual A plot. So the guy from the auction house is trying to find Dr. Bell, and the kids follow him, and they see him with the lady with the fedora. Uh-oh. And so he gives her the little statue. She gives him a briefcase full of money. And my impression is that like she had to buy it through the auction so that it wouldn't be suspicious that he was like going to be giving it to her. Like there wouldn't be someone else looking for it. But I think she gives him more money than the $2,500. Like I think the $2,500 is just what the auction house is going to have like on record, and then they will show that they're not short $2,500, and then she gives this guy an additional briefcase full of extra money for like his trouble. So she gives him the money. He has the little statue, and he goes tink tink with a little hammer and smashes it, and inside, what? There's like gold artifacts. Oh my god, they were smuggling this whole time. What? It took them 3 episodes to smash this shit with a hammer. I know. It's not like this was the plot of Dark Knight 1 and 2. So, then there ends up being a big chase, and the kids end up being stuck in like a prop plane with the auctioneer and the lady and the auctioneer's like personal bodyguard. I'm sorry, not the twins. The twins. Yeah, the twins. So then we have the British detective, which we have Bell, who turns out was a British detective, not Sherlock Holmes, but like an actual detective who is British. They're chasing the prop plane with the auctioneer. They're chasing him on snowmobiles. and they catch him. I don't know how snowmobiles catch a prop plane. Like I was literally when they're going down the runway in the plane, they're like, we need more runway for takeoff room for reasons. And I was like, do you need so much that snowmobiles, which I feel like cannot go 60 miles an hour, somehow catch you? Like, but there is more action in this really dumb episode where the entire plot of the episode is what's going on with the auctioneer. Oh, it's smuggling. It's artifact smuggling. And then there's like a giant like airplane snowmobile chase. There is more action in this than in the last 2 episodes together. Like nothing happens in those episodes. This episode is just like all like brum, 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 like chasing here, chasing there, chasing downtown, chasing to the airport, chasing at the airport. Like how do you pace yourself? Fucking pace yourself. It's so all over the place. So then the episode ends with them finding out that I guess I'm sorry, I keep calling him John Bell. It's Joseph Bell. It's Joseph Bell this whole time. Joseph Bell is actually the name of the real life doctor that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle based Sherlock Holmes on. And he himself was also a surgeon at some medical school in Edinburgh. Like all the details this guy gave of his life are the details of the real life counterpart to Sherlock Holmes.
Okay.
And so my thought would be like, oh, it's an alias. Turns out I'm wrong. The twins are like, oh, he's definitely the same name son of the real guy. And I'm like, he would still have to be like 90 years old. Do you know what I mean? Like there's like him being the son I mean, the son or the grandson or the great grandson might make sense, but also like only sort of. And the little kid's like, no, he's definitely the real Sherlock Holmes. And I'm like, well, then he'd be 120, which you yourself have said like at one point in this episode. Like it makes no. Aren't you smart? Aren't you? Is that why you're the Edison twins?
This was 40 years ago.
Yeah, but no,
this
even
episode. He's 40 years old.
Even in the episode, it's the second or third one. I don't know. The little kid is talking about Sherlock Holmes. And he's like, oh, if this guy were the real Sherlock Holmes, he would be 120.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, you've already established that.
You've
like,
already taken that into account.
Yeah. Like if the dad would be 120, like I know that this actor who's playing Joseph Bell is like an older gentleman, but he's older like 60s. He's not older like 95. Like I feel like, aren't you guys supposed to be good at math? Are you only good at telling me where newspapers came from? Like, is this less Sherlock Holmes and more just the autism and you're just really into like newspaper textures?
Yeah.
Like
it's like
maybe.
having to put Dracula in every vampire television show. Every mystery series must eventually feature some form of Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel like everything that we've watched from the 80s and 90s, Dracula pops up, Sherlock Holmes pops up, and Jack the Ripper pops up. Like every single,
they
we
must
have to hit the trifecta.
Them.
Yeah.
It's like the Native American mysticism episode and the magical Negro episode and the
yes.
The time travel episode. Yes, they had to have them. Yep.
There's a quota of just weird shit that like everybody had to hit there. And I guess now we've established that there's also a quota episode for the Mayan antiques, which are either magic or
smuggling.
Smuggled. Yeah.
Isn't that also the plot of Pushing Daisies? The first couple episodes of Pushing Daisies?
Maybe. I've seen the first episode like 6 times and somehow I can never get past it. And I don't know why. It's a show like clearly aimed at me and everything I like, but somehow I never end up getting like to episode 2.
It's fine. But Charlotte dies because she's smuggling. Well, she doesn't know she's smuggling, but she's smuggling those monkeys.
And is she smuggling
that are solid
are they Mayan?
gold.
Are they like Mayan artifacts or they're just?
I think they're just monkeys.
But for whatever reason in this stuff, it just seems like Mayan artifacts in particular are like the thing.
Yeah.
Like they're the MacGuffin that everyone picks. It's weird.
They were comfortingly mystical, but they weren't stereotypical like an Egyptian one. What might have been.
Yes. Yeah. What if instead of Egypt, we go a little bit to the left? Like,
yep.
And so then every episode of the Edison Twins ends with a really short little cartoon that teaches you how stuff works, sort of. So one of them is like
G.I. Joe.
Yeah. Yeah. So one of them is how parrots mimic, but like they don't like, they're not speaking, but they're mimicking sounds. And I guess in the wild, they would mimic the sounds of their mate. But when they're in your house, you're kind of their mate, so they mimic you. And the first one was talking about music notation, like or music notes, like what makes a note higher or lower. And I'm sure I learned a thing, but I don't remember it. I'm going to be honest. And then the third one was like, here's what pottery is. And I was like, okay, I feel like you're sort of stretching the learning part, but like, all right, guys, I don't.
Yeah,
Thank you. And what bummed me out is so the animated part was done by Nelvana, which is this art studio that did like so many of the cartoons from our childhoods. I think they worked on Care Bears. I know they did like, that's terrible. I should be able to remember more, but like, I know that like every cartoon I watched as a little kid in Canada was like, the art was done by Nelvana, and they've been around for 70 years. And they just now announced that they are shutting down completely.
Aww.
And it's such a big cultural loss, and I'm really sad about it. And like the art at the end of these, like these little cute, these segments, like they're very cute and it's very expressive, and I like the art style, and like, it's fine. It's the least offensive part of this whole fucking episode. Like I appreciate it, but I saw that and I got real excited, and then I got real sad because I was like, oh, they just shut down. It's a bummer. But
Yeah.
I don't. Do you think your kids, like, if you had sat them down and was like, hey, let's watch the Edison Twins, would they have the attention span to watch? Because it just seems like it's so slow. But also, I know it's not aimed at our age, so I don't. Your kids are in that range.
I kind of feel like no, like maybe my son, maybe. Oh, they did 3 seasons of Redwall.
Oh, good. Oh,
They did the Little Bear TV show.
Oh, I thought
Magic
you meant your
School
kids.
Bus.
I thought you meant your kids had watched
no,
seasons of
Nelvana.
Redwall, and I was like, wow, I'm so impressed.
No. I'm talking about Nelvana. No, I don't think they would watch this. I don't know. It doesn't move fast enough.
No, yeah,
they're used to a much different pace. Different pace. Yeah, they did Redwall. They did Little Bear. They did Magic School Bus.
Oh, then they must have done Franklin the Turtle.
They did Gargoyles.
I didn't know
Bears.
that.
Let's see. They've done a bunch, but I'm like trying to pick out the ones that we probably know together. The Beetlejuice cartoon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They've done so much.
My Pet Monster. I don't remember that one.
Oh, I remember that one. Oh, I love My Pet Monster.
Free Willy had a TV show.
I didn't know that. Did I know that? I don't think I knew that.
Well, now you know.
That's what I mean. Is like they weren't like. I mean, they're small, and then I think they had the one office in Toronto. And I don't know if they had like any overseas animation labs or anything. I think all the stuff they did was from that one office in Toronto, and they were there for 70 years. And I think actually like Kathy Disher did some voices for some of the shows they did, because they were just they were just such like a big, like if you wanted a Canadian cartoon, like it was Nelvana. And so the fact that they're shutting down it's a real disappointment for me. Like it's a real, you know, when you're like, oh, I haven't thought about this in a while, but then you think about it and you're like, oh, like that was some, like you did a lot of like important moments for my childhood. Like you gave me a lot of joy, and I appreciated that, like many hours of entertainment, and I don't even know why they're shutting down. Like I don't
no more call for traditional animation.
Although
it looks like they've done some CG, but I don't know. It's so cheap to do in-house now that you don't really hire outside animation studios anymore.
Yeah. Well, and I know a lot of companies will just ship out to South Korea. I know that's where they do a lot of animation. Like which like fine. I don't begrudge the South Koreans jobs, but also I'm just sad about Nelvana, because it was such a big part of Canadian childhood cartoon culture, I guess, if that's even a thing. It was for me. So I'm a little bummed about it. But if anyone wants to watch some of the work that Nelvana does, they do the little shorts at the end of Edison Twins. So if you can stomach watching the Edison Twins, or let's say fast forward to the end.
Yeah.
Or like Rachel said, if like any of those programs on that list, like they all did just such great work. And I like, this is not important, but when I was in high school, my high school did like every January for juniors and seniors was Jan term. And so you were supposed to do like internships to, you know, see what jobs that you might want. And I reached out to Nelvana to see if I could do an internship with them. And they were super nice about it. And they were very accommodating. And they said yes, that I absolutely could. And like I could come down and see all the animators and, you know, see all the departments and work with them. And I was so excited. But because of my visa status, because we were applying to become permanent residents, I guess when you're in that application period, if you leave the country after you've applied, the U.S. government's like, well, I guess you don't want this anymore. And they like toss your application.
Aw.
So I would have been able to leave the country, but it was not clear that I would have been able to come back. So even though they had said yes to me, because of visa status shit, I had to be like, sorry, the U.S. government says I can't have this once in a lifetime opportunity with you.
Aw.
Sorry. So anyways, immigration is a humbling and difficult process.
Shitstorm.
Yeah, shitstorm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Shitstorm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyways, they were like, I was a high school student. Like they could have ignored me. They could have been like, no, we don't want you here. But they were so very nice about it. They were all really great, like very, very welcoming people. They all seemed very cool. So I'm like extra sad about it for that. Anyways, on that bummer note, how what kind of a rating would you give? I mean,
I gotta go with another not applicable.
I mean, he's wearing all of his
Except for
clothes.
the never nude
The
and
never nude.
the fuzzy hair and he's in it for the ham, but he's hamming for the ham. And I just, okay, maybe like a 1, but only because he doesn't have enough time to do any more.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. I mean, we've got one characteristic for each, right? We've got in the first one, he's doing sexy voice. And in this one,
Yeah.
he's never nuding. So, you get your one characteristic for each. And for
I
the
can
amount of
see
screen
that.
time he's got, I mean, that's pretty impressive that he managed to squeeze a whole characteristic in there.
Yeah.
I know I rate on enjoyability. For the Ger part, I really like the Ger part. He is young and hip and peppy and like bouncing around and wearing like 40 pounds of clothes, and he's got his just blow dried hair and he's having like a great time. So like for those 22 and a half seconds, like, I love it. Like a score of 9. For the entire, I appreciate that like we're bringing back Mayan artifacts. I don't know why that's like a secret characteristic. I'm coming to enjoy that. If they had been like, and P.S., this might cure vampirism, I would have been like, yes, it's all coming together on my vision board. But like overall, I don't, it's like, it's got that little educational stinger at the end, but like nothing before that's educational and nothing before that's really entertaining either. It's not visually fun to look at. Like the Debbie Delicious character, they throw her in like some pink tulle and some crazy like 80s makeup. But other than that, everyone dresses like they're 48 years old in the brownest sweaters over the brownest button-down shirts. Like everyone is just drab and dull, and like the sets are drab and dull. And then even the sort of exciting thing where they're like, hey, maybe Sherlock Holmes, A, is real and B, time traveled. Because at one point they think there's like a local pet store that they think is maybe a time machine, which wasn't important, so I didn't mention it. But they're like, the key is the special bird seed, wink. And even the idea that the local pet store is running a secret time machine for a fictional character that you access by asking the guy for the special wink, wink, bird seed, wink, wink. Even that, I was like, bored, don't care. Done. Even at the end where they're chasing teenagers in guns and then there's a snowmobile versus airplane fight that the snowmobiles win. Still, like, that shouldn't be boring. That's so insane. That should be amazing. And I was like, I don't know, kill the twins. I don't give a shit. They're not So for the 2 minutes, I'm going to give it a 9, but for the entire program, I'm going to give it like a 3. And that's me trying real hard. Like that 9 is plus a negative like 6, and that's what gets us to the 3. That's how we get there. That's the level of just like not like some of the other things we've watched where I'm like, oh, I hate this, but I was just like, I'm just bored. And I know that I'm not the target audience, but I think if I were like 12, would I have enjoyed this? And I'm like, no, I'd still be bored. I'd be more bored as a teen.
Yeah.
I have some attention span as an adult to be able to watch this, but like as a kid, I would have been like, no. So I don't even know that I would recommend. It's weird that this show is still around. I don't understand how out of everything we've been watching for him, the Edison Twins.
This one.
Yeah. And maybe it's because Corey Haim is in it in the first episode and like later seasons or whatever. Maybe like
I don't know. Maybe
his character is more interesting.
I don't know, but you can find that one. I need to put the judge up too. So I'll put up Dudley and I'll put up the judge. I never put the judge up.
Oh, I thought you did.
Mm-mm.
Huh. Shows how much I pay
I
attention.
will. It's great. And then I'll get more messages like I get for The Matrix, which are like, do you have more episodes? And I have to be like, negative, Captain. I have no more.
I know people are really into The Matrix because when I was trying to find it for us, there were messages all over the internet like, do you guys remember this show? Is this show even real? I did not have messages like that for the judge. So I feel like your inbox is probably safe. But
okay. Oof. Good. Well, we'll find out.
If you're a judge head, please let us know. But yeah, I feel like I can see why people would want to watch The Matrix and why The Matrix would stick around. I don't get that for the Edison Twins at all. And the fact that it's currently streaming 2 separate places is mind-blowing to me. Like, I just don't get. I mean, like the Ger scene is fun, but like you're not watching the entire season.
Whoever has the rights is just giving them out to all comers. It's like Buffy.
Yeah, but who said yes? Who was like, yeah? I'll be like, Amazon? Why? Why did you?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you got your $6 out of me, I guess, so it worked out for you. But congrats, Jeff Bezos. But yeah, I can't even say that I would recommend this to an audience. Because it's just like not like Dudley the Dragon is just weird and fucked up and like emotionally traumatic despite itself. But like the Edison Twins, you're not even like you're not smart. You just know what newspaper looks like in Milan, which raises some questions. But I don't like I just don't care. This show I just don't care is the problem. So if you want to watch it, it's on Tubi and on Amazon Prime. But like, why? Why? Just if you want to see the one Ger episode where he's real handsome, it's 3:37. Watch that for 2 minutes and then go do something else with your life. Yeah, and be done. Well, on that note, friends, I'm sorry, I got nothing else. To say.
It's fine. It was 2 hours long anyway, so
yeah. So we did it. We got through the double parter. And now hopefully no more fucking puppet. I don't know. I haven't looked at the list. There might be more. I'm hoping there's no more puppets. That's my goal for this entire podcast.
You hope, but then there's going to be more puppets.
I know.
I'm not going to do it till we record the last episode, and then I'll be like, God, I hope he doesn't do a new show with puppets.
Oh my God. That's what's going to happen. That we're going to get through his entire back catalog. And then he's going to be like, this year at Stratford, they let me plan the whole season, and it's all puppets. It's all
puppets
time.
And me.
It's a nude puppet review. All right. I'm gonna have horrible nightmares tonight. On that note,
it's time to go.
It's time to go, you guys. All right.
Bye.
Bye.